Are you ready to make Christmas crack? Follow my recipe and we will make the most delicious Christmas candy recipe. Come on! The first thing we're going to do is put the oven on bake at 375 and get that preheated. Then we're going to line a large cookie sheet with about 46 crackers or one sleeve. This pan took 48 crackers, so that was more than one sleeve. Just letting you know, I got the saltine crackers, the Fred Meyer or Kroger brand for $1.89. Just updating you on how much the crackers cost. You can make this a fairly cost-efficient dessert to make. If there's not enough toffee sauce to cover the whole thing, then I might forgo covering that end row. A lovely neighbor just stopped by and brought me some chocolate mint truffles, and luckily I had a Christmas card ready and some of my homemade jam. Actually, I think it was jelly. This was elephant heart jelly. So nice to have this stuff around that you can just put a little bow on it and have it ready to go. I have gathered the ingredients for the Christmas crack, or here are some other names if you don't like that one. Cracker Toffee, Faux Toffee, Cracker Candy, Toffee Bark, Faux Toffee. So, you have all sorts of names available to call this. Oh, here's another one, Saltine Sweeties. Since this is all new to me this year, the whole experience, the names, the history is all new to me. If you would like to put down in the comments below your experience with the Christmas crack, you can put it down below in the comments and tell me what you know about it, what the history is behind it, and how often you make it, where your recipe came from. I think that would be great. So the first thing that we are going to do is chop up the butter into little cubes. There's the butter chopped up into cubes. We have our cup of brown sugar, or 2 sticks of butter, or 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of chocolate chips. Luckily, this one calls for mini chocolate chips, and luckily I had some. Right here I have some really big ones that were left over from before, but I'm just going to melt them and they'll all turn out just the same. I'm trying to use up some of the things I have in storage. Another great idea is to vacuum seal. If you have a vacuum sealer, vacuum seal some chocolate chips and put them away, and they last for quite a while. It's really nice and handy to have them on the shelf. Now we're going to add the ingredients to a medium-sized saucepan. To the viewer that suggested, maybe not so kindly, that I use a wooden spoon, thank you. I could have done without the snarkiness, but hey, we all learn, don't we? So let's add this to the saucepan, and I will tell you while we're at it that I am not a professional chef. I am a professional mom and grandma. I've been a cook for over 45 years. I didn't take any fancy schooling. I just cook, and I make it with love. Just like Marie from Everybody Loves Raymond, it's made with love. So we're going to put in our butter and turn it on medium to start to melt it. While the butter's melting, I'm going to chop up the walnuts. I won't chop them too fine. And for all you professional chefs and cooks out there, I do it the way I do it, and you do it the way you do it, and we'll all get along just fine. It's time now to put in 1 cup of packed brown sugar. That just means that you just press it down well. And we're going to stir and stir and stir. And I do believe you're supposed to cook it for 3 minutes. I am following the recipe from a great channel called The Messy Cook. I encourage you to go over to her channel. She's very real, down to earth, and I really like her recipes and things. She said that at this stage that she would put in 1/2 teaspoon to 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla just to increase the flavor. And you just want to stir and stir and stir. She puts hers on medium-high. I might just put mine a little bit lower on medium just to make sure I don't scorch it on the bottom. So the whole idea now is just to cook and stir and cook and stir for that 3 minutes. I believe we have to wait till it boils until we start counting our 3 minutes. The mixture has now come to a boil, and so you want to put your timer on for 3 minutes and stir constantly. I neglected to mention that make sure that you grease your cookie sheet with either butter or oil. Butter's the best, obviously. Or use parchment paper or foil. And I just wanted to say to all the non-professional cooks, bakers, moms, grandmas, aunts, everybody out there, I appreciate you being brave enough to share your recipes, share your experiences, and share your lives. It's really great that you can get on a platform such as YouTube and be able to see regular people living regular lives, doing regular things, and putting it on a video. So I want to commend you for how hard you're working and what you're doing, and I just wanted to tell you that. Okay, our 3 minutes are up, and it's really looking caramely. Doesn't it look beautiful? I'm afraid I probably have too many crackers for the amount of caramel sauce that I have, but we will see how thin we can spread this and see how it turns out. Make sure you get every bit of the delicious caramel sauce out, and please be cautious. It is extremely hot. Don't let your kids or your husband or anyone lick the spoon because it's just too hot to navigate. Then you're going to want to spread it all evenly. Bring the camera up a little bit. I do think we have at least 2 rows. Too many. That's okay. We'll just dip these crackers in this delicious caramel sauce. So let's just spread it out, and then after you get the delicious caramel sauce spread out, we're going to put it in the oven for 5 minutes, and we will be back. Our 5 minutes in the oven are up. So then we are supposed to add the chocolate chips. I used mini chocolate chips. You could use 1 to 2 cups depending on how heavily you like it to be covered with chocolate. And then we'll wait for 5 minutes. Well, actually, I'll probably wait for about one minute so it can melt, and then I will spread it. You can use milk chocolate, you can use chocolate chips, all sorts of different kinds of chocolate. Okay, it's been about a minute, and the little ones are melted. The big ones, not quite so much, but nonetheless, we will spread this out. And to the 2 or 3 viewers that were so kind as to give me hints, I hope you can tell I'm being sarcastic. they can just do their recipes in their own ways. Most likely they were trolls and just feeling ugly and wanting to share their ugliness. So that's why I do this for cooks that are not professionals. Now, mind you, if professional cooks are kind and want to give an encouraging note and a comment, that's fine with me. But people that are holier than thou and think they know better, you can keep your comments to yourself. Now, this is the point where you would put on anything you wanted. Some people put crushed candy cane. You could put on Christmas M&Ms since it is the season. I choose to put on nuts, but not on the whole thing because I have grandkids that do not like nuts. So I didn't chop them overly fine because I like them that way. That's the great thing about doing your own cooking at home. You can make things how you want. You can tweak recipes how you want. Of course, you always keep the basic important parts of the recipes, but some of the recommendations can be tweaked and changed a bit. So there you go. To the lovely viewer who told me that my English butter toffee looked like a mess, well, you're welcome. And I'm going to let this set and cool for quite a long time. I will probably take a picture later on and stick it on at the end of the video. To me, for doing this for the first time in my life, I think it came out pretty well and it was a lot of fun. Again, I recommend you go over to the Messy Cooks channel and have a look at her stuff. I think she did a really great job and she seems to be really fun and kind. And to those non-professional cooks, moms, grandmas, aunts, and etc., even nice chefs, professional chefs and cooks, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you on the next video. Well, here's the finished product, and I have to say, I think it's amazing. It's the first time in my life that I've made it or eaten it. I'm 63 years old, and I'm gobsmacked. I have to tell you, I think I might like this even better than the English butter toffee. It's crunchy, it has a little more substance, it's a little more salty, and it's wonderful. I think in the future I'm going to try milk chocolate instead of semi-sweet chocolate because all I had were the chocolate chips in my pantry, and with this being so close to Christmas, I did not want to venture out into the stores and handle the crowds. So this is what I made. This is what I ended up with. Some without nuts, some with nuts. It is an amazing recipe. I hope you try it. If you don't think it came out, darn, you'll just have to try it again and eat it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Don't forget to grow joyfully. We'll see you next time. P.S. Do you remember the crackers that were too many on the pan? I am using these to eat it with this, and it's continuing to cut the sugariness and the sweetness and make it even crunchier and saltier. Sweet and salty, crunchy. How can you beat that?